I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to manifest what you want in a much faster way, to increase the speed at which the manifestation comes to you in your life. This is going to be 5 ways to manifest what you want faster, to increase the speed at which it comes to you, because sometimes we know that it's coming, sometimes we don't, but sometimes we know that it's coming, but we just want it faster. We just want it here now. We don't want to wait as long as we need to. And of course, counterintuitively, this can actually make it come slower because that creates resistance, but we'll get to that later. Nonetheless, we're going to be talking about how to increase the speed of your manifestation and how fast it comes to you. This is going to be 5 ways to manifest what you want faster. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. So the first way to manifest what you want faster is to become conscious of the limiting beliefs that you have. Now, this one's difficult because when we have a limiting belief around doing something in our life or going in a certain area, and if you have a limiting belief that you're not conscious of, you definitely don't believe that you can manifest that thing in that moment. So in that case, you wouldn't even know that it's coming. Because the problem with limiting beliefs is that when we have a limiting belief, it can be such a deep core assumption in the way that we move through life that we won't even move towards the manifestation. We won't even go towards and work towards creating the thing that we want, because that limiting belief is such a strong, deep assumption. Like, we're moving through life with the premise that, oh, I can't even do that thing, so what's the point of even trying? Like, it's not even going to be a thought in your head to go ask somebody for help in regards to how to make money, for example, because in your reality, it's just not possible. That's just what it is. It's just, yep, that's how it is. You can't make money. You can't make more money than the money you make now. And that's just how it is. And so this is a hard one to do sometimes for some people because they don't see their own limitation. This is why sometimes creating spaciousness in a meditation practice, or having a coach or a mentor or a guide or somebody outside of you to show you that, hey, it's not that this is the way it is, it's that you have a limiting belief. So whatever you can do to become conscious of your limitations or your perceived limitations, this is going to allow you to manifest in a much faster way. Because when you can realize, wait a second, what I thought before was just reality is actually just a limitation of my own mind. What's going to start to happen is you are going to start operating in your life in a completely different way. The way you talk to people will change depending on, of course, what the limitation was or the perceived limitation. You're going to start taking different actions. You're going to start dealing with life in a completely different way because now you are aware of the fact that this limiting belief is nothing more than a limiting belief. Whereas before, it was just reality. So for example, a limiting belief could be like, hey, I don't believe like I can make $5,000 to $10,000 a month. It's just not possible for me in my life. Just not possible. Just the way that it is. And so if you have that belief system, how are you even going to be open up? How are you going to be open to an opportunity where maybe somebody could teach you how to make that money? Maybe a mentor comes into your life or something like that. But if you're not even open to the idea that you can even do that because you're under the premise that you just can't do it, not only is it going to be a really long time before you can manifest more money into your life, if you want to manifest more money, it's like, oh, I want to manifest more money, but you don't even believe that you can manifest the money. You just want to manifest it, but you don't even have the belief that it's possible. I'm not saying to believe that you have it already, but be open to the idea that it's even possible in your life. So what you want to do is do whatever you can to become conscious of the own limitations that you project on yourself. The limitations that your mind might be creating around what's possible in your life. Because there's so much more that's possible for you than you might be able to see right now, but you might be completely sucked into your own limitations and fight for them as well. We'll get to that in another video. You'll defend those limitations. I might say, hey, no, it's actually possible for you to make 5 to 10K a month and it's not that hard. And you might be like, no, it's not possible, and then you'll fight for it. Not you in specific, you specifically, whoever's watching this, but generally the ego will fight for its own limitations. That's what it will do. Yeah, it could be you specifically watching this, because anybody watching this could you could be fighting for your own limits. Be conscious of that, but we'll get to that in another video. So become conscious of your limitations, whether you do that through meditation. Meditation is a great tool to do this. It's not the only way, but it's a great tool because you can create spaciousness between you and your thoughts. And if you can create spaciousness between who you really are and your thoughts, because you are not your thoughts, what's going to start to happen is that you're going to get one step closer to, as you're going forward in a certain area of your life, you might have a thought that says, oh, I don't know if that's possible, but you'll see the thought. You'll catch the BS, the belief system in the act of while you're going towards what you want. And then guess what? You can ignore it and move towards what you want to do anyways. And you'll manifest money way faster that way, or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest in your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's money. Become conscious of your limiting beliefs and start to notice where in your life are you not even going forward with what you want to manifest, let alone manifesting it faster, because you don't even believe that it's possible. See, beliefs sound like this motivational thing. It's like, yeah, go after it, it's possible. And it's like, if you believe it, you can create it. But this is the thing, it's actually way more significant than people see. It's not just some motivational quote. If you don't believe something's possible, it's literally going to block you from even having that possibility in your life. I'm really dragging this point way longer than I need to, but I'm going to give you one quick story just to finish this point off, because this one's huge. This point alone could manifest many things in your life that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to had you not had the awareness of this point. So the story I want to share with you is, I don't know the exact story. Again, all the references I give in this video, I never seem to remember where they're from. So somebody comment down below if you know the person that did this and what I'm about to say. I use you guys just to help me bring back and ground where I even get these references from. So I appreciate if you comment down below if you know what I'm talking about here. But basically, don't quote me on this because this is very general and I don't know exactly the numbers and if what I'm about to say is exactly accurate, but I know that this is something that happened. Basically, there was something along the lines of like somebody completed a certain race, like a 100-meter dash or something, in a specific period of time. And nobody in the world believed that it was possible. But then the moment that they didn't believe it was possible to complete it in a certain time frame. And the moment that one person completed that 100-meter dash, it was like some crazy amount, like a couple seconds or something, many other people also completed that same time shortly after within that year, something along those lines. So basically what happened was somebody broke through the barrier of what they thought was possible in their own life. They were the first ones to do it, or one of the first, I guess, that actually was recorded. And then many other people saw that the person did it and they said, oh, it's actually possible now. And then they completed it. Whereas before, they're running through their life trying to beat these records. Yeah, how do I manifest this record in my life in a faster way? But they were living life with the premise that it wasn't even possible to get to a certain level. So how are they going to manifest all the things they want in their life if they're moving through the premise that it wasn't even possible to do that race? Maybe the person wants to manifest a new record or something. Like, why I want to get to, like, I want to beat the world record, but they don't even believe that it's possible to do it in like 6 seconds or whatever the number was. So realize that if you can overcome and be spacious, create spaciousness between you and your limitations, you are literally going to open yourself up to realities that were 100%, or at least almost completely, closed off in your reality. So I dragged that point on way more than I needed to. So the second way to manifest what you want faster, that was just such a significant point that I felt it was necessary to put the time into that and explain that, because that one's huge, absolutely huge. The second way to manifest what you want faster, it really is huge. You should re-listen to that first point more than once, just to get the value out of that one point. Could be all you need to manifest what you want faster. But I'll stop dragging it on. The second way is to notice when your frequency drops. Notice when your frequency drops, because what most people try to do is they try to, for example, use affirmations to raise their frequency. Like, oh, I'm gonna raise my frequency for 2 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. And that's great. But if you're going through your day and your energy is completely out of alignment a majority of the day, of course, if you drop down sometimes, that's cool. That's part of life, occasionally to drop down. But actually, your natural state of being is something that can be completely in alignment with a higher frequency. It is a higher frequency. Your natural state, when you're not bogged down by all the BS of society, all the conditioning, all the thoughts, is just to be in a peaceful, content, neutral state of being. But what happens is sometimes we can not only be dropped in our frequency, but we can be so bogged down with so much baggage that actually what happens is that your natural state is not a high frequency. You went against your natural state and you've created and imposed a low frequency. And sometimes we might be in a lower frequency, lower than you think. Are you going throughout your day and is your frequency dropping? Are you in a lower energy, maybe around a certain person or at work, and you might not even be conscious of it? Because your frequency might be dropping throughout the day, but you might not even be aware of the fact that your frequency is dropping. You might not even be conscious of it. And that is a huge manifestation block, because once you get your energy right internally, the external world starts to follow that. Maybe not instantaneously, but it is going to follow that. And so if your energy gets low throughout the day, what's going to start happening is you're going to start to slow down your manifestation. It's not about how fast, how much action you take and how many things you do. And if you want to manifest a business, like how many clients you reach out to 7 times per day. It is, for some things you have to take action to manifest certain things. But a lot of the times though, what I found is that despite what my mind thinks in regards to how much action I should be taking, if I get my energy right, my manifestations come a lot faster, because everything in this reality is energy. It's frequency and it's vibration. So start to become conscious of when your energy actually drops, when your frequency gets a lot lower. Start to be aware of this. And if this happens, what you want to do is manage your energy in that moment, observe the frequency, allow it to be there, and remove it from your life. Go do something else. Go do meditation. Maybe just sit with that frequency and allow it to fade out of your consciousness. This is not to be like, oh my gosh, I'm at a low frequency, so I'm slowing down my manifestation. If you start to judge yourself for being in that frequency, guess what? That creates more low frequency energy, because judgment creates resistance. When you resist the low frequency, you create more of the resistance, because resistance is something that, like when you resist something, you create more of it. What you resist persists. So don't take this as like, oh my gosh, Francis said that if I'm at a low frequency, my manifestations are slower. So then you start freaking out. No, that is gonna add more chaos and more negative energy and slow you down even more. So just be aware when your frequency drops, because it's super important to speed up your manifestations. But if it happens, be cool with it. let it go, release it, investigate why your frequency dropped in the first place. Was it a person? Was it something that happened in your job? Was it your family member? It could be anybody. You know, my frequency dropped sometimes in my family's presence. Hey, you got to create the boundary. I don't care if it's your sister. I don't care if it's your mom. I don't care if it's your brother, if it's your cousin, if it's your close friend, if it's your best friend, if it's your job that you've been in for 20 years, if it's this. Notice when your frequency drops, because it could be the environment, it could be the person. Maybe sometimes you need to actually create a boundary with this person and not have this person in your life, at least for all the time, every single day. I'm not saying to cut out your family, but even if it's necessary, like sometimes it could be the person, but it's not like it's just that moment you need to be somewhere else. Because you live in a divine reality. And if your frequency drops, the universe is actually communicating to you through your body. The universe is literally always communicating to you through your body. Maybe it's not that this person needs to cut them out of your life, but maybe in that particular present moment, because the only moment that exists is now, maybe you need to listen to your intuition and create a boundary with that situation / person or whatever, the individual that's in front of you. So don't create a story around this and make rigid, structured decisions forever. It's for now. When your frequency drops, allow it, accept it, realize why it happened in the first place, and align your energies back to a high vibrational state of consciousness, to a higher frequency. Because the more that you can hold a higher frequency, the faster you will manifest in your life. It doesn't make logical sense, but it works. It doesn't make logical sense, but it works. Test it for yourself. But you might not even know what it's like to be at a high vibration state. Maybe you're always bogged down. Be aware of when your energy is bogged down. Or maybe just the small moments where you're bogged down. Maybe you're already feeling good most of the day in that content state of beingness. But maybe there's some things that put you out of alignment. Start to be conscious of those. And you'll notice that the more you align your energy, the faster your manifestations come to you. You'll get more opportunities. The things will happen that need to happen in order for the manifestation to come to you when you're aligned with the right energy. And so the third way to manifest what you want in a much faster way, to manifest what you want faster, is to stop using logic. Or at least, at the very least, use less logic. I don't want to say stop using logic, because that's a little bit too far. Because you want to balance your masculine energy in your life and use your logic. But I would say don't be overly logical. That's a better way to say it. Because here's the thing. Most people try to create things in their life only using their logic. But when you're only using your logic, you're disconnecting from the divine nature of how manifestation works. Your beingness and your consciousness is literally connected with everything. When you set an intention to manifest something and you own the fact that you want to be something in the world, whatever that is for you personally, or you want to create something in the world. When I say be something in the world, it could be subjective to what you want to create. There's no objective good thing that exists for, what it means to be something in the world. That's subjectively what you want to create. When you own what you personally want to be in this world, and you set an intention to be a certain way or manifest something in your life, you got to realize that your logical mind is not going to be the only way to manifest. In fact, it's going to be one of the biggest blocks to manifest what you want. Because if you're only thinking like, oh, it can happen this way, I have to take these steps, I have to do this thing, I have to do that, what you're literally doing is you're blocking yourself, because it can happen in infinite ways, but you think that it has to happen this way or this way or this way. It's like, oh, here's the 3 paths to manifest this thing. Or it has to happen in this amount of time. We'll get to that in just a little bit. It's creating resistance. It's creating limitation. Your logical mind is a limitation to the infinite possibilities in terms of what can happen in your life and how the manifestation can unfold. And the more that you're attached to your logical mind and only living from structure and logic, you're blocking yourself from your intuition, first of all. Second of all, you're blocking yourself from the infinite possibilities that exist in the field of consciousness that you're in right now in this present moment. So what you want to realize is that the more you can use less logic, I don't know if that was the best way to say it, what's going to start to happen, the more you use less logic, what's going to start to happen is that you'll feel your intuition more, you'll take aligned action, you'll be in alignment with the right frequency, and what you want will happen in a much faster way. It might not make sense. It might get bumpy. Maybe you might lose your job in the process if you're trying to manifest, more money in your life. You don't know, but don't be so quick to assume how everything should logically work out, because you live in a divine universe, and the moment you set an intention to manifest something, everything in the universe conspires to make it happen. Everything is connected. You don't have control over everybody and everything, but you are connected to everything. And when you set an intention, things outside of you will change. They will start to change because your consciousness creates everything, and you impact people. You impact the way people live, the way they make decisions. Everything is connected. It's not about controlling other people. It's about being in your frequency, setting the intention, and allowing the divine to do the job for you. You do what you have to do as an ego, take the actions you need to take, control whatever you feel you need to control, do the affirmations, take the actions, but then it's up to the universe. We'll get to that in just a little bit as well. Don't use your logical mind so much. Tap into your intuition. Feel into your energy. How does it feel? Not does it make logical sense? How does it feel to move in that direction? Have you ever tapped into your heart space, or do you only use your logical mind? If you're only using your logical mind, good luck manifesting what you want in the fastest way possible. I'm not saying you won't manifest it, but you will have more resistance in the process if you're attached to the logical mind, and it will manifest slower. Guaranteed. I can't guarantee it actually, because we live in an infinite universe, so anything can happen. Anything can happen. I don't want to impose that limitation upon you. But what I will say though, is that things tend to manifest faster when you can tap into your intuition. Don't let that be a limitation. Anything can happen. You can manifest anything that you want instantaneously, even if you're using logic. But what I found is that being at a high frequency, not being as attached to logic, helps me to manifest what I want in a much faster way. And you typically feel a lot better in the process too, because you actually enjoy what's happening versus doing the things that make logical sense that honestly sometimes might feel like shit for you. And that's okay to be aware of that, because now you might be in a space where your life can become easier and you'll manifest faster if you are open to using less logic and trusting in your intuition more. And the fourth way to manifest what you want faster is to remove time completely. Don't set time frame goals. Now again, I don't want to say completely, because generally you can use a little bit of time here and say, yeah, maybe by 3 months I'd like to have this thing, or maybe in like 6 months I'd like to have this thing. But you don't want to be attached to time in the manifestation process, because time, first of all, doesn't exist. Like first of all, before we get into how all of it, before we can get into how time creates resistance and all of that, which we're going to get into in a second, first of all, time doesn't even exist. Now, of course, we use time as humans to say, yeah, I'd like to have this thing, because time is still something that we can use for certain things, because some things do take time to manifest. And I'm going to be honest with you there. If you want to build, like 1 million subscribers on YouTube, yeah, that might take a little bit of quote unquote time. But even if you have some crazy goal like that, which I'm not saying is crazy, I'm saying crazy in the sense that it's a great big goal to have. If you have that goal, even if you want to manifest like $10 million or something, yeah, it might take time, but you don't want to have a specific time. Like, yeah, I want to manifest this in 6 months and it has to happen in 6 months. Because what that does is that creates resistance. So what you want to do in the manifestation process is not set result-oriented goals that are in certain time constraints, because those create resistance. Like if you say, oh, I have to get this result by this amount of time, you're basically setting yourself up to drop your frequency, because if you don't get it by that time, you're going to be really sad, first of all, and frustrated. And also the whole way there is going to be like, you're going to be blocking yourself to the infinite possibilities of it happening earlier, or maybe it happening slightly later, but in a much easier way, because you have this preconceived notion that it has to happen this way and this amount of time. So personally for me, when I'm setting goals, I set what we call process-oriented goals versus result-oriented goals. Yeah, I have a general, like in the back of my mind, yeah, it'd be cool to manifest this thing in this period of time, but I don't attach to that, and I focus on the process. And I don't even have that many result-oriented goals. I have like generally, yeah, it'd be cool to manifest this or manifest that, but I love the process of what I do. So I don't really set goals anymore really for, oh, I want to make this amount of money or this amount of followers for this thing or whatever. I'm just like, hey, my goal is to post videos every single day, or to do this every single day, or to perform this art every single day. You want to focus on the process of how you're going to get to the manifestation, and focus on the process versus the result. That's not up to you. It's not up to you. If you want to manifest this amount of money or this opportunity, maybe you can do things that are going to help you to get there faster. You can maybe, let's say you're trying to, manifest a connection with somebody. Reach out to many people, make many conversations happen in your life. But when that person comes to you, which conversation is going to lead to that person, whatever it is that you're connecting with, romantic, business, or whatever, that's not up to you. That's up to the universe. And if you put a time constraint, you're creating resistance. So be open to the idea that it doesn't have to happen in this time or that time or this time. Focus on the process and let the universe decide when it comes. But that doesn't mean that you're not doing the things that you need to do to make it happen. You're just releasing the resistance. It's actually a beautiful balance, because you're still going to be taking radical action if you want to take action, but you'll have less resistance and you'll feel good in the process, and it's going to happen way faster that way. So the paradox is that if you let go of the attachment that it has to happen in 3 months, it will probably happen in 3 months or even sooner. This is the process of manifestation. It's going to happen a lot sooner if you can release the resistance to it has to happen in this time, or the result has to happen in this specific period of time. It creates resistance, it creates a block, and it slows you down. It's like you're holding baggage that you don't need to be holding. Remove time completely, be present, and realize time doesn't exist, and all manifestation happens now. Everything happens now. Move towards what you want to create, take the actions you need to take, keep your frequencies aligned as much as you possibly can, and leave it up to the universe when it's going to happen. But don't leave it up to the universe and do nothing. Do the things you need to do. Be in the frequency that will let it happen faster. I'm just saying it in a way because if you just say like, remove time, let the universe decide, but you're sitting in your room all day, come on. That's going to block your manifestation. Now, I'm not saying you can't manifest in your room meditating. You can, but for some things, though, that might not be the case. Can I be limiting myself? Yeah. But I will say, though, that you want to focus on removing time completely. Remove time completely. Time does not exist. Time is a limitation to your manifestation. That was a sick rhyme. The fifth way to manifest what you want faster is to let go of what you cannot control. And this goes back to what I was just saying. So you want to let go of what you cannot control. That's the fifth way. Let go of what you cannot control, because there's certain things that are within your control. You can take the action, right? You want to be that masculine force in the world? Go ahead. I do it sometimes. I record a video every single day. I don't feel resistance in the process because I like recording it. Sometimes I'll have a thought like, I don't really want to record. And then I record, then it just becomes easy in the moment. Recording is easy for me. I get very expressive, I get very into it. It might seem hard from your perspective, but it's actually pretty easy once I get my energies right. But what you want to realize is that you can do certain things in your life. You can take the certain actions that are going to bring you to your manifestation. You can use your will. You can take action. And again, I always invite you to make that action easy and aligned, because action does not have to be hard. You want to make it hard, go ahead, but it doesn't have to be. I always invite people to the possibility that action can be easy. But what I will say though is that if you're taking the right actions, if you're influencing the right people, not in a manipulative way, but sharing your energy and pushing your energy out into the world, giving value, doing the things that you know might help to aid in the manifestation process, owning the role that you need to own to create what you want, talking to the right people, doing the right things, whatever it is. But there's some point you want to get to where you surrender to the fact that it's not all up to you. Because if you think that it's completely up to your ego to manifest everything, you're going to slow down your manifestation so much, because you're realizing, that's not the right word, because you're blocking the manifestation process. You're literally going to realize that you're blocking yourself when you realize you have to do it all by yourself. When you think you have to do it all by yourself. If you think you have to do it all by yourself, you're going to realize that you're blocking yourself from your potential. Now, what do I mean when I say do it all by yourself? What's the alternative? The alternative is to trust the divine, to trust the universe. Do what you can, but let go of what you can't. Do the things that are within your control and let go of the things that are out of your control. Don't take this as an excuse to not do the things you know you could be doing, but if you're already doing it, the rest is not up to you. It's not up to you. Don't let that disempower you. Let that free you from taking the responsibility of having to do it all. There's been moments in my life where I was really scared. Like I was dropping out of school, I was starting my business, I was creating financial freedom for myself. In the process of becoming financially independent, I was scared at some points. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I was actually scared. But when I thought to myself, I said, okay, I'm doing the things I need to do. Because right now I'm already in a space where I have money, I'm doing what I want to do. When I dropped out of school though, I was recording videos every single day and I wasn't exactly where I wanted to be. But the one thing I'll tell you right now though, is that when I was thinking about controlling everything, that slowed down everything. It created resistance, it created fear. But then I realized, oh my gosh, actually, I don't have to do all of it. It's like, wow, I don't have to do everything. The universe has my back. Like, this is gonna be a hack for you right now. Whenever I got scared that I wasn't gonna manifest, I just thought back to the synchronicities I had in my life. I was like, oh yeah, I'm connected to the divine. Like, it's that simple. Like, you don't have to do everything. You're literally a divine being. Like, if you get scared sometimes that you're not gonna manifest, just think back to a synchronicity you had in your life that was magical. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm connected to the divine. You'll instantly release resistance when you give it back to the universe. Give it back to the higher self of everything, your higher self. God, the divine, the universe, whatever word resonates with your heart, whatever brings you that mystical spiritual connection. But let go of what you can't control, because that is going to speed up your manifestations like crazy. Your manifestations will happen so much faster if you give up control to the things that are not up to you. Just not up to you. Let that empower you. Let that free you to make you realize that all you can do as an ego is what you can, and the rest is up to the universe. Let that empower your heart. Let that make you fully present to do the things that you know your heart wants to do, but let the universe do the rest. To me personally, that's the most empowering truth I've ever heard in my life, not disempowering. Because some people are going, oh my gosh, I'm losing control. I don't have control over anything. For me personally, I don't know about you, that is the most freeing thing I've ever heard in my life. To know that I don't have to do it all as this ego. And what do I even consider as I? Who is I? I am not this body. I am not this mind or this meat bag. I'm connected to everything, and I can trust in that. I can trust in life itself to help me manifest what I want in my life. And all you have to do is let go of the things that are not up to you and do the things that are. So let go of what you can't control. That's all I have for this video. If any of these signs resonated with you, leave a comment down below, and of course, hit the like button and share this video with people, because every single person deserves to know the power that they have to manifest their reality into existence, and of course, find peace within themselves in the process. That's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation to see if you're a good fit for the coaching program to work with me one-on-one personally. As always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.